Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. So let's talk about Michonne's return because Gimple confirmed about a week or two ago that she is going to be returning. But I want to talk about in what capacity, and I also want to talk about what happened in Worlds Beyond Episode 3 and how that could relate to her return. I'm really glad I saved this video until now because I've been wanting to talk about this, but there just hasn't been enough anything else to talk about because we already knew Michonne was returning, but after last night's episode there's actually a lot more to talk about with I guess the group that she saw in her final episode and how that could relate to the CRM and I guess when she does find Rick Grimes, because I don't think she's going to find Rick right away, but I do think she's going to find the CRM right away, and I do think she'll be there for quite a bit. So are we going to see that? Are we not going to see that? Is that going to be like, how are they ever going to do that? So before we go any further, I do have to warn you for spoilers for last night's episode of The Walking Dead World Beyond. Also, if you are new to the channel and you want more Walking Dead content like this, just make sure to be a subscriber. I am also on Instagram posting like these Halloween horror reviews. They're just very quick reviews. It's like quick thoughts on like a horror movie. I'm obviously only doing it up until Halloween. I've done like 4 of them or something like that today. I want to do, I've watched a couple more, so I'm going to do some more of that. But I'm just going to be doing them every day until then, or until Halloween. I watched a movie called Hell House, and there's 2 sequels, but the first one I actually really enjoyed it. It's a found footage styled horror movie, and I mean I wish I could I want to do reviews on the channel for horror movies so bad. I don't know why I don't, but it's just horror movies are like my life. Like it's all I ever watch, really. It's what else do I really watch? I don't care for Marvel movies anymore. I don't care for anything else. It's just those type of movies now. So anyways, if you want to hear some quick thoughts and stuff like that on some movies, I talked about a little bit of like Silence of the Lambs. I just watched that last night actually. There's like Prom Night and stuff like that. Just go follow me on Instagram. That's just at MusicMan on Terrace Street. The link for that should be down below. Now, like I said, Gimple confirmed during Comic-Con, or New York Comic-Con, that Michonne will be returning. Like we will see her again. And so I want to talk about in what way and how they're going to do that. First of all, I don't think she's going to return in a spin-off TV show or something like that. I really don't. Maybe they're talking about that or trying to plan it. I just don't see Denai Guerrera wanting to do that, because why? Like, what's the point in doing that if you're just going to be in the Rick movie anyways? And that's why everything's a little confusing with Michonne, because like what would you explore? And if you're going to explore all that, why not just show that in the Rick movie? But are you going to have time to even show that in the Rick movie? So maybe you do have to do that. The last time we saw Michonne, she saw this mysterious group, this like massive group of people here. And I do think like whatever's next for her, it will explore her travels with this group. This group is probably going to be something new because I'm pretty sure Gimple confirmed that it's not CRM, but it will lead to them. So whatever happens here, Michonne's just gonna, blend in, meet people, and then ask about Rick, find some connections to the CRM. She'll probably have to discover the fact that there is a CRM, the fact that that does exist. She'll have to make her way as well to New York State and stuff like that. But the weird thing that I wanted to bring up, and I don't think a lot of people brought this up, actually no one could have because we didn't know how big the CRM was until last night. But if that's not the CRM, then what the hell is it? Because the Commonwealth in the comic, they have 50,000 people. The show, they could lower that or increase it, but it's around there. The Commonwealth will have about 50,000 people. The CRM, we learned last night, have 200,000 people. If it's not any of them, then like what the hell is going on right now? Why are there so many groups with tons of people in it? And we just have never found them until now. Because you would imagine that early on, they probably had way more people, but just a lot of people died. I mean, if you look at our group's story, it's not like they ventured out to go meet people, right? They didn't really do anything like that. They just kind of, like, I remember Gimple, or I can't remember who it was, but they addressed, or it wasn't the idea, but they addressed the question of why doesn't Rick ever try to find a cure or do something else? I think maybe it was Andrew Lincoln who said something, but the explanation was Rick doesn't really care for that. Rick's just he has to survive now for his family, keep these people alive. He's just very much in the present. He's not thinking about the future, or I guess he kind of is thinking about the future. He does eventually. Like, that was kind of his arc towards the end, but his main goal throughout most of the series was just trying to survive. And then later, he's trying to plan for the future. But even then, I would say, even in season 9, he wasn't really thinking about the future too much. It was Michonne that was trying to do that when she came up with that charter of rights thing or whatever. Rick was just trying to keep everyone happy with the the threat of Negan, obviously in that cell, and then the stuff going on with Hilltop and Maggie, and the Saviors running out of supplies and stuff like that, and everyone like dying and starving and stuff over there. Rick was really just trying to keep the peace throughout all of it. I guess keeping Negan in that cell was kind of his way of thinking about the future, but that was more of just honoring Carl. So, the character hasn't really thought a lot about the future too much, at least when you compare him to other characters. So the idea that he would start to think about a cure, I think he got interested in that idea when Eugene came around, but I think if something comes up where that is a possibility, he'll probably really try to fight for that, but he's not someone that's going to really fight for that or whatever, unless that opportunity does come up. So I think the fact that the CRM are actually trying to do this, that's going to get really interesting for the Rick Grimes movie. I just still find it weird that there's all of these people everywhere and Rick and them never found any of them. I mean, again, I explained why, because he was really in his own world, but it's so weird to think that, not even that these people never found Alexandria and stuff like that. But then again, I guess they could explain that with Jadis, right? Because they have the phone with Rick, and I guess he had Michonne and Judith drawn on there. That could have been left there by Jadis, and it is possible that that's why Jadis was at the scavenger base. It was to spy on those communities, to keep an eye on that location, because I'm sure the CRM have people scouting everywhere and keeping an eye on everyone, literally, throughout the United States, or at least a huge portion of the United States. She will likely come across the CRM sooner than she finds Rick, because it's a massive place. I think she could be in there forever and still not find him, right? So that will be something that they explore. Like Michonne will find the CRM, and she'll try to find Rick, and she'll have a hard time trying to find him. If Rick has done anything of importance, in the sense of fighting back the CRM, he's going to be like a wanted man. If Michonne mentions anything about she knows him or asking about him, that could raise awareness to certain people that shouldn't know about that. And then Michonne's in trouble. Maybe that's how Rick finds Michonne, right? Like, he finds out that Michonne is held captive by the CRM, and so he has to go and save her, right? That is kind of the plot of Mario, though. Like, literally, if they did that, that's the plot of every Mario game. It's Mario going to save Peach, right? So it would be Rick trying to save his princess, I guess. This is why I think she's likely going to return in the second film, because, like, first of all, I know there's talk about a spin-off or doing something like that, but I don't see how they can really do that, because like how interesting is that going to be? It would be actually interesting. Like, I would watch. I really will watch. It's just, I don't know, like, if Denai Guerrera is going to be in these movies, just do that in the movies. But like, that's why I kind of come back to, there's only really two ways you can do this story for Michonne, like, just for what's next with her, right? From where we left off up until she finds Rick. And that is, one, we see her looking for Rick, and it'll be like a B plot in the Rick movie. Or two, we don't see it, and she just appears, or she appears to Rick in like a shocking moment, or maybe it's like a cliffhanger for the first movie. Because I don't know how important it is to see Michonne's journey there, right? Like it is important. I do want to learn more, but do we have to see all of it? It really depends. It depends on what the Rick movie is going to be. That's why I think she shouldn't be a part of the Rick movie, because I think the Rick movie should establish a lot of things first, and then afterwards, all of us will wonder, well, how is Michonne going to find him now because of this? Or, oh, I can't wait till she finds this, or she finds this out about it. Because the big reveal of his survival already happened, right? That's why I really can't wait for these movies, because these movies are just going to be very big. Like, it's going to be very, like worldwide consequences and stuff like that. Because Rick is going to be fighting back against the CRM. But how does that even go down? For some people, like, if they're trying to find a cure, Rick is just going to look evil trying to take them down, right? I think that's where you have to get into a bunch of stuff of like, well, it depends on what they're trying to do with finding a cure. They could be killing a lot of people. There could be a lot of more sinister, evil things that they're doing. And there could just be a lot more power and stuff that they do have and their vision for the future, which Rick just does not agree with. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see that. And this movie's also going to have to somehow deal with Rick escaping, I guess, and having some alone time with Michonne, because like they gotta catch up on their children. And I keep picturing they're gonna be in like the cell, or they're gonna be hiding out, and they'll find each other. They'll be crying, they'll hug each other and like talk about stuff. But they kind of have to, like, Rick has to break away from the CRM and be hiding out in some building somewhere where they can't find him, just because we need that downtime with Rick. We need that downtime to where he can just think on his own for a little bit, especially with Michonne returning. And if she's in that second movie, the fact that he died apparently all those years ago, they need to talk about all of that and what that's done to Alexandria and everyone there. That's why I think that Rick's not going to be captured the whole time, because you can't have the movie. It'll be the premise, it'll be a plot for maybe a huge portion of the movie, but it's not going to be the whole movie. Like, he'll break out pretty quick. So yeah, overall, it'll be really great to see Michonne, but I don't think we're ever going to see her back on the show. And if we do, it'll be for the final episode. And that's the same for Andrew Lincoln as well, or Rick Grimes. If we see those characters at all, it's going to be in the final episode. But post all your thoughts down below. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.